Let's learn some facts you may not know about the ancient Egyptian pyramids. All pyramids aren't created equal. In fact, just as with many building types, there are distinct phases to pyramid construction. The earliest pyramids aren't the pointed structures we most commonly think of but were actually flat. Many examples are found in the vast Saqqara burial ground located in what was ancient Egyptian capital, Memphis. The pyramids here are the earliest known and include the Pyramid of Djoser. Built during the 3rd dynasty and designed by architect Imhotep, it was constructed between 2630 BCE and 2611 BCE. It considered one of the world's oldest monuments made of cut masonry, and it is not fact all pointed. Instead, it's a step pyramid where Imhotep had mastabas of diminishing size stacked on top of another. This typology is found in many cultures, from the Borobudur temple in Indonesia to the El Castillo pyramid built by the Maya in Chichen Itza. Ancient Egyptian culture is full of symbolism and superstitions that guided decision making. So it should come as no surprise that even the location of the ancient pyramids were guided by mythology. Most were built on the west bank of Nile, and for a distinct reason. As the pyramids were the final resting places of pharaohs, it only makes sense that should reside where their soul can begin their journey into the afterlife. For ancient Egyptians, the afterlife and the sun were closely intertwined. Osiris, an Egyptian god closely connected with the afterlife, represented the strength of new life. Over time, he also became associated with the cycle of the sun and how it brought new growth from dormant seeds. Thanks to this association, the setting sun came to symbolize death, and the death sun died in west each night. The souls of the pharaohs were meant to connect with the setting sun before rising again in the morning, a symbol of eternal life. By placing pyramids to the west of the Nile, they lived night in the area that metaphorically signed death. One of the biggest mysteries about the Egyptian pyramids is the construction techniques used to erect them. The incredible feat of the Egyptians is all the more impressive when taking into consideration that over 2 million limestone and granite blocks were used to build the Great Pyramid of Giza. Each piece of masonry weighed about 2.5 tons. So how were these giant blocks moved? Unfortunately, the Egyptians did not leave behind written records, and many theories have been proposed over the years. A 2014 study theorized that it could be as easy as water and sand, a wall painting dating back to 1900 BCE, despite a procession of men pulling a large statue on a slant as one person stands at front, pouring water over sand. Though it is originally thought that the gesture was purely ceremonial, that is significantly evidence that this painting holds the key to unlocking the mystery of how they moved all that weight. Researchers experimented pulling large amounts of weight on a slate across sand and found that when they added the right amount of water, the job was significantly easier. The dampness of the sand greatly reduced friction by up to as much as 50%, making it much more flexible to hold large amounts of weight. According to a British Egyptologist, the stars were a guiding force in how the pyramids were aligned. Kate Spence of Cambridge University published research in 2000 that demonstrates how the Big Dipper and Little Dipper were used to align the pyramids in a north-south direction. So accurate were their measurements that they only have a margin of error of up to 0.05 degrees. Interestingly, with the information in hand, it's possible to date the pyramids using astronomical records. The long-held theory that the pyramids were built by slaves might not actually be true. It was the Greek historian Herodotus who helped spread the idea that slaves built the pyramids through his writing. It's a concept that was then propagated by Hollywood, but might not be true. In the 1990s, the graves of pyramid builders were discovered. Egyptologists are quite sure they were not slaves, but rather builders who came from lower-income families. Their burial tomb in a tomb shows that their role in building the pyramids was an honor and certainly was not treatment that would have been given to slaves. The Great Pyramid of Giza is not only the most recognized Egypt's pyramids, it's also the only of the 7 wonders of the ancient world that's still standing. The Great Pyramid is impressive for many reasons, but one of the most interesting characteristics of this celebrated monument is that it can also tell time. The structure actually acts as an enormous chandelier with its shadow telling the hour by falling on marks made it the stone. Of course, being the Great Pyramid, it could not be just any chandelier. Its level of sophistication means that it's not only told time but was able to signal solstices and equinoxes, and theory 4 helped the Egyptians identify the solar year. Egyptology is a highly active field with research moving away from reading inscriptions, but continue to excavate and use technology to answer the many mysteries still left to be relieved. The Pyramid of Khufu, the largest Egyptian pyramid, is made of 2.3 million stone blocks, each weighing anywhere from 2.5 to 16 tons. Some of the blocks, partially the ones used in the inner chambers, came as far as Aswan. A small void was detected on the pyramid's north face, approximately 15 feet long, horizontal and sloping underwards. This could be passageway. More significantly, a 100-foot-long void was found above the Grand Gallery, itself a magnificent passageway that provides access to the burial chambers towards the center of the pyramid. Not much is known about this larger chamber. It could be either horizontal or a so of many actually be made of several smaller rooms. While it is unlikely to be a burial chamber, it could be a second grand gallery or more intriguingly hold some of the secrets to the engineering and construction behind the pyramid. The bent pyramid built by Snefru, Khufu's father, has a similar chamber above the main burial chamber. The space is believed to help reduce the weight of masonry pressing down from above. The last royal pyramid was built around 1500 BCE. Afterward, while wealthy individuals were occasionally buried in on and near pyramids, pharaohs were buried in the Valley of Kings near Thebes, the new capital of ancient Egypt. What exactly caused the rulers of Egypt to abandon the practice of pyramid burials is unknown, though many theories exist. One theory is that religious changes around 1500 BCE began emphasizing building tombs underground in the bedrock rather than interring bodies in pyramids. Thebes, unlike the previous Egyptian capital, Memphis had far less open space, and what little there was rocky and ragged, hardly the ideal landscape to build massive monuments. Tomb robbing was alone an issue, and there was far less chance that burial would be looted in the earth placed in such conspicuous setting as horizontal diminishing pyramids. The Valley of the Kings is a Sydney complex landscape that was easy to hide royal burials and rock-cut tombs in. Thutmose, the first pharaoh to be buried in the Whole Valley King, hired a man named Indeni to inspect the excavation of his tomb. A more recent theory about why pyramid construction stops comes from Peter James, an engineer tasked with examining the outer casing of Bent Pyramid, built in 2600 BCE. While better preserved than other pyramids, which all have lost their outer casing of limestone and marble, the Bent Pyramid's casing has also been breaking apart. Peter James discovered that the extreme temperature fluctuations of the Egyptian desert are causing the limestone to expand the construction, moving the stone blocks to the edges of the pyramid and forcing them to detach or break. Taking the outer casing with them, adding in of the Bent Pyramid's unusual construction, made it the best preserved pyramid. The gaps between the stone blocks have allowed them to shift the more perfectly aligned and placed blocks of the pyramids of Giza had no gaps between them. Any shifting of the blocks causes them to push against each other, causing the casing to disintegrate rapidly. This disintegration likely happened while pyramid building was still occurring. After spending so much time, money, and energy in creating perfect monuments, this visible and rapid destruction of the perfection could have been one reason pharaohs abandoned them as burial monuments. Research on the pyramid have been taking place since the early 19th century, with early archaeologists clearing sand from the complexes and exploring the interior chambers, sometimes unfortunately for the pyramid's preservation with the help of the dynamite, and later archaeologists scanning and restoring the monuments. However, for all the centuries of excavation and research, many pyramid mysteries remain.